Hey guys, welcome on into the podcast.
I'm Raging.
And I'm Icy, and we're going to hop right in. Today we're going to be discussing something that I think is kind of important to the podcast, so to me at least. We're going to talk about how to fix Destiny 2 for a little bit. Kind of where we're going to just start. I don't know if we're going to come up with anything that's worth fixing Destiny. I have some ideas. I'm going to run them by Trav and see what he thinks. So you ready?
Can you actually fix Destiny, though? That's really the big thing.
I think you need a whole new game, but if they're consistent on staying on Destiny 2's platform, I have some ideas of how they can do it.
All right.
So,
what's your ideas? Let's
right.
see what ideas you done spun up here.
All right, so I have a few different sections I want to run through, but I'm going to start with the power system, restructuring it again, because I don't like where it's at. I have a lot of issues with where the power system's at.
So what about the power system? Like, are you talking about the seasonal power, or are you talking about like just the power in general?
Grinding power being the focal point. That's literally what content we have in the game right now. That's it. It's your grinding power to get to tier 5. I don't like it. It's not fun. It's boring, repetitive, and it doesn't feel satisfying when you finally get to tier 5 because it just doesn't feel like the time you put in doesn't feel worth it when you hit tier 5s.
Well, I mean, I prefer the old leveling system before Ash and Iron, where you actually had to give some effort in and you just played and enjoyed the game and you got levels with it. Now it just feels like they just want to give you tier 5s. They're like, please stay with us. Please keep playing. We need money.
Well, that doesn't start till after you hit 451. So that's why you're seeing so many, because you see a lot of content creators that are over 451. That's why you see so many tier 5s. Yeah, I played again this last week after the first podcast we recorded, just to kind of get a view of where we're at. It's better. The power system's better, but still not in a good spot. So what I think we should be doing is, number one, power should not be the main grinding point of the game. You should not be forcing your players to grind power, and that's the only content in the game. It doesn't work. And it kind of goes back to what you said. Power should reflect what you have played in the game. So, and then going from there, in-game activities should give higher power loot than any kind of casual activities. So, like Trials of Osiris, raids, you could even throw dungeons in, should give you the highest power available of things. Like you grind power in raids, dungeons, and trials. I think it should be the most rewarding. And then everything else should fall below that. We can go back to like the old GM system, because I personally think that was better than where we're at with the portal. It felt more rewarding. So in my brainstorming, my idea was Trials of Osiris and raids and dungeons should be the top high pinnacle of the game. That should be the best way to get good loot and to get good power drops. And then it should be competitive in GMs after that. And then after that, it strikes, general PvP, and Gambit. I said Gambit, yes. I said Gambit.
How dare you say Gambit?
And then after that, it should be everything else after that should be the lowest. You don't get much power from that stuff because it's just not, it's boring content, not fun to interact with. So kind of go back to our old system that we had, personally. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, the one good thing that I do like about the current system is that if you need one specific weapon, like if you're looking for a specific weapon, or if you're looking for a specific piece of gear that you need that tier 5 on, it's listed on the portal.
Like that,
You go to the portal, you see that you need a pair of boots.
I have a section on the portal.
Tier 5.
I have a section on the portal that we're gonna get into. But, I do like the idea of being able to farm for specific gear if you need it, and the portal being there to support that. But I think that the power grind needs to expand to the other sides of the game. The portal should not be your be all end all. This is where the content's at. You should be able to go and
Yeah.
get your power up from raids, dungeons, Trials of Osiris, competitive, any other thing in the game. You should be able to go get your power level up. You should not be hard focused on staying in the portal all day, every day, because that's going to fatigue the player base super quick, like it already has, and we're at all time lows in numbers right now. So,
Yeah, I mean, you take this FPS MMO style game,
mm-hmm.
and they turned it into a single player game.
It's basically an
It's
RPG at
you
this point.
Yeah, I mean, even then RPGs aren't even this grindy most of the time.
Oh, that's true.
Like
That's so true.
it's ridiculous, but yeah, I definitely think they should bring back the quote unquote the GM mechanic. Even that now it's called ultimatum. Stop making it
Ultimatum.
so easy.
Yeah.
Put something that you've got to get a fire team together with.
Yep.
That you need to get a fire team together that actually knows how to play the game, that is actually difficult content to get them tier 5.
Yeah.
Stop giving out tier 5s for people bot farming.
Yep.
There are so many videos out there of people bot farming all of this content just to get tier 5s, and I mean they're raking in tier 5s
Yep.
like it's candy at a candy store.
Yep. Yeah, and even in with the port, like the power system, I don't think that you spend 40 hours a week grinding your power level up to get the best loot. I think there should be a way to get the best loot before you're at max power. Like there should be an option to where if I want to make something super difficult, I can make it super difficult, but I get rewarded for that instead of it, oh, it's still tier 2 because I'm only at 200 power. Who cares? Like if I'm 200 power and I'm doing something at 300 power, I should be rewarded with a higher tier of what I'm doing. It should not be like I should not be hard locked to tier 2s if I want to push myself and try to be as good as I can at the game. I should not be stuck getting tier 2s trying to do that, because then again it still feels bad to do that, because it still feels like all they care about is us grinding the game instead of like our playability. Replayability is not important. Having fun is not important with the game right now. It's just they want you to log in like it's a job and play for 40 hours a week, and people just aren't going to do it. It's just obvious people are not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean we showed in the last episode, in episode 1, we showed where the counts down to, like
Mm-hmm.
at least Steam alone,
Yeah.
like you're down to 10
Overall,
15,000 players.
I seen something in one of the Discord channels that I'm in with a bunch of people that play Destiny. They looked up the analytics with a bot, and it's there's 300,000 concurrent players on Destiny right now across all platforms.
I mean, and I would love to see what it was across all platforms, at its peak. Like what did we do you know what we had?
It was close to a million.
Yeah, see, like that's the Destiny community that I know.
Yeah,
There's nothing I love more than jumping
even
into a new raid or a new dungeon
mhm.
and teaching new players. Like
Yep,
that's the community that we're used to. But now that like everything's so small and in between, you
yep,
can't teach those new lights anymore because nobody's wanting to get into this
yep.
because it gets such bad press.
And it comes back to grinding power is a chore. It's not fun. It's a chore, and it is not a meaningful pursuit. And it's not content. I don't care how bad Bungie wants to force it to us. It's not content, it's not fun, and it's not meaningful. It's boring,
Yeah, I mean,
repetitive, and dumb. Flat out dumb.
yeah, I mean, on top of that too, they say tier 3s are equivalent to adepts. But do you know how rare adepts were
Um,
beforehand, and now they're giving them out like candy?
um, they
Like
were only
you need
rare. Like I'm gonna say this. They were only rare because we didn't farm GMs like everybody else did. Everybody else had all the adepts they wanted because they farmed GMs. We didn't farm GMs. We were more into raiding and stuff like that, and we didn't want to do master raids because master raids kind of sucked. It was not fun.
well, yeah, but I mean, but also at the same time, the tier 3s being compared to adepts, but you needed to do different things. Like if you wanted dungeon adepts, you needed to play, hardcore dungeon. You needed to grind that dungeon to get stuff that you needed. Same thing with raids, same things with grandmasters. And now you just kind of load it up and play it normally. I mean, with the raid now, you do a normal raid clear, and ta-da, you got tier 3, tier 4s dropping just because of your level.
Yeah, I understand your point. I think that's a product of where the game has gone in general. Like, it's not the. I don't think that that's a product of the tier system as much as it is a product of they're trying to incentivize people to want to care more about loot. But let's move on to the portal section because I have a little bit I want to go through with the portal.
All right, what you got on the portal?
The portal, it should not be the face of Destiny 2. The face of Destiny 2 should be trials, dungeons, and raids. That's what it should be. The portal should be a catch-up mechanic for new players to get good loot, to get caught up so where they can get into in-game stuff. You use it to teach people how to play the game.
Right now, I personally have never thought of this, but I 100%, now that you say it, I support you 100% on what you say. That I have not heard a more true statement in my life. That I never even thought of it that way, but now that you said it out loud, now that I'm thinking of it, that is such a perfect way to get people caught up to, especially us that's been in the game for 10 plus years, that's got thousands of hours behind this game.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely think that
I didn't even think of that. That's crazy.
The portal should be the catch-up mechanic, and then going back to the power thing is forcing everybody to grind boring activities does not add longevity to the game. It just doesn't do it. I personally, if they don't do it as a catch-up mechanic, I think it should be scrapped. It needs to be gone and take us back to the system we were at before. And that
I think the portal is okay. So going back to what I said earlier, being able to get that one specific weapon or that one specific piece of gear that you need, it's really nice. Don't get me wrong, it is really nice to have that. But I miss just using the global map to get in, to go see what you need to do for the week,
to getting your
weekly grind done.
The game felt
and
so
honestly,
much more alive.
They had much more concurrent players when you got on and had your weekly things to be done, and not this race to the race to the top. The race to the top, I think, ruined it all. But having your weekly things, I don't so many people from the Tuesday reset at noon Central Time all the way through the weekend.
Yep.
When trial started, they would go through and they would get their weekly stuff done. Sure, everybody's going to go enjoy other games. Everybody's going to have that other game on the back end. Mine, it just happens to be Path of Exile. But people are still going to log in and play their weeklies to get up.
Yep.
But now that you have this race to the top, some of us don't really care to be the top number 1, number 2 player in all of Destiny.
Yeah. I like I said, like I personally, I like the able to pick what your loot is, like being able to pick and farm for specific loot things. But I think that since that's in the game, they would have the ability to add that to back to the old system, to where like, okay, so I need to do 3 strikes to get my pinnacle for this week. All right. Oh, strikes just happens to be dropping Drang this week, and I need a special. Strikes are dropping Drang today. I need a special weapon. Oh, let me go farm that and do that today instead of waiting another couple of days because it's dropping the weapon type that I need or armor type or whatever. Like, I think that system could easily be moved to the other way because it's already been shown. They've shown that they got the ability to do it now. So I think that needs to be. I think it could be implemented to other parts of the game. Maybe not raids and dungeons, but like trials, you could easily do something like that where if you play 7 games, you get a drop. Doesn't matter win or lose. You play 7 games. You've put a lot of time in. You ought to get something that's going to reward you, and it could be a specific drop. Friday is a specific drop in this item. Saturday's this. Sunday's this. Monday's this. And kind of rotate it around. Raids and dungeons is where I'm not going to say it needs to go to, because raids and dungeons need to be random from that raid loot or dungeon loot. And it's kind of where I'm at. But
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the fact that they have changed it up. So now, like, it's like Leviathan, where you can pick and choose which
Hmm.
boss you want to fight, or you can go straight to the final boss. But if you complete all previous bosses, you get a whole extra loot drop, which
Yep.
I think
I
is a
like
huge
that.
improvement.
I like that. And it
Yeah, that's a
incentivizes
really good improvement.
it incentivizes to where it's like it's not like the Riven issue like it was with Last Wish where everybody would just skip to Riven, do Riven, get their ethereal key, and then do Riven's walk at the end and then hop out. And that's what they farmed to get their power their pinnacle. Because
Right.
the only thing
You
that
know how many
dropped
times?
on the old raids, all the thing that dropped pinnacle was the last encounter. The entire raid should drop pinnacle loot if it's the weekly raid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know how many times I went into Riven and I did Riven on two characters, and then on the third character, I'd have three ethereal keys to then go and attempt my 1K
Yep.
that still took me like 40 plus tries to get.
That was one of the only raid exotics that I got really quickly. But
Hey,
we got a lot to get through, so let's keep focused up on the portal
all right,
here. Um
all right.
all right, so if they don't want to scrap the portal and they're insistent on keeping it, like I said before, it should be used to onboard new players. They should use it as a catch-up mechanic, and I do not believe veteran players should be grinding the portal constantly. They should be trying to incentivize veterans to get into in-game content such as raids, dungeons, and trials of Osiris, or even comps and GMs. They need to make people that are been playing this game for a long time care about that side of the game, and the portal be for like newer players. And them forcing us to play the portal for this last 2 seasons has killed any reason to play any other content in the game. How many times in after the first raid drop, after the raid dropped last season, did you ask me to do the raid and I told you what?
All right, you told me no because there was no point to it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point because for one, they locked us at tier 2 and tier 3s for like month and a half. So I can get that in the portal and it takes me half the time. Why would I care about that? And I already had the God rolled crossbow. It was just tier 1. So I couldn't have cared less. Which leads me into the gear section of what I want them to do. I think the tiering system was one of their best decisions they've ever made in the game. Best decision they ever made was the tiering system for gear.
Oh, it's so the tiering system. The tiering system was a nice upgrade. I enjoy it, but they should change the rate and the time that you get the drops. I still think if tier threes are supposed to be adepts and adepts were only captured or used by those that took time and to build a team to go do those things, that I'm cool with tier threes and tier fours, being comparatively or a little better than your adepts. But then tier five should be a little harder to get than just bot farming Iron Banner.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but for me, I think that you're thinking about GMs in the way that they were when they first released, where it was like it took people had to commit a lot of time to it. The last year and a half of GMs, you could get GMs done in 8 minutes. I'm being serious. Like there's clear like I watched people streaming. They could clear GMs in 8 minutes. It's not like it was hard. Adepts were fruit. Like it was candy. Like you said, like adepts came in like candy in the last year and a half of the game. Watching people stream and run GMs, they would just speed through them because we had our
Yeah.
builds are so much better than GMs were. We need I understand that power creep is a thing, and I understand that it's always going to be a thing with Destiny because we're going to get stuff that's more powerful than what we got now eventually. But and artificial difficulty like bullet sponges and like having to sit in the very back of the map because you just get randomly one shot by things is not fun to deal with. But I don't know what else Bungie could do for the for the power, like not for the what am I thinking? What's the word I'm looking for? For the difficulty to be beefed up. I don't know what else they could do with the difficulty without doing that because our builds are so strong.
Ultimatum needs to be challenging and not another stepping stone on your power creep.
Yep. Yep. But so for me, I think tier 1 to tier 5 weapons need more of a separation. Because
absolutely.
Because right now they're better. They are better, but even streamers are like they're not that much better. You could do every bit of the content in the game can be done with a tier 3 weapon. What's the point for the vast majority of people to spend time grinding their power level up to go get tier 5s? Because tier 5s don't make you that much better than tier 3s. So there needs to be some for weapons specifically. I think armor's fine because the stats make you grind for the power to get the stats. Because 75 stats for your chest piece and everything like that is nice. It is nice. And your build vastly changes once you hit that level. And I think that's fine where it's at. But I just think weapons, there needs to be more separation other than everything's enhanced on it. Personally, that's what I think. And speaking of, exotic armor should be tier 5. They should not drop below 75 stats. Exotic armor should not be. Right now, you know what they're dropping at right now? They're dropping at tier 2 stats. Tier 2.
Yeah, armor, exotics in general, like
they should feel exotic.
Back in the days, exotics should feel exotic.
Yep. Yep, that's where I think that's where it's missing right now with Destiny in general with loot is exotics don't feel exotic anymore. It just feels like a very niche weapon to push your damage up or to clear ads faster.
Do you know that back in the day, this is going to come to a surprise to a lot of you, but we actually used to get excited over seeing that exotic drop?
Yeah. Not anymore.
We used to freak out. We used to panic and be like, oh my God, can you believe that we just got an exotic drop?
Yeah, it's like all those videos.
I wonder what it can be.
It's like watching all those videos of people clearing Vault of Glass for the first time and screaming because they got a Gallahorn.
Well, not even that, but just playing the game, and there's just randomly you're like, oh my God, I hear it. Where's it at? And you're searching for wherever you just killed this enemy at. That got an exotic drop, and you pick it up, and you're like, oh my God, I just got an exotic.
Like, and then I need to go to Raul right now.
Yeah, and you literally will leave the game right where you're at just to go see what you got.
Yep.
Like that's the exotic's not so exotic when everyone can get it.
Yep. It needs to. I think exotics are the one thing that I'm okay with time commitment on. I think that's the one thing I'm okay with because it's not necessary. It adds to your character. Legendaries and tier 5s, I don't think that they maybe tier 5s. I'll give you tier 3, tier 4 be kind of like they drop like candy. Tier 5s be like the I finally got there moment to where you're like I'm finally able to get some tier 5s. I don't think they should drop as readily available as they do now for the people that are over 451. That's a whole nother issue that I think Bungie did to themselves whenever they made 450 the point where you're like, oh, now I'm going to consistently get tier 5s. But I think they also did that to add more content to the second part of the season when they add in that major updates like Ash and Iron. That was a big selling point, was being able to get tier 5s constantly after you hit 451. I don't think that works, personally. All right. This might be a hot take for you because you don't want tier 5s to drop so much. But I think that pinnacle activities like raids, dungeons, trials, I don't think they should drop below tier 4. I think the normal version should be tier 4, and your master version should be tier 5.
Okay, so I see your tier 4s and tier 5s, but I'll raise you. Yes, the normal version I think should be tier 3 with a mix of tier 4 with a chance of tier 4, and tier 5 should be your harder versions.
Yeah, definitely the harder version has to be tier 5, right? Like, because you want people,
Absolutely.
you have to push people into that activity, and the only way to do that is it be the only way to get tier 5. But that's my personal opinion. I don't think that we should not be getting tier 2s from the raid. Shouldn't happen. I don't think tier 2s dropping from a raid is a good selling point for a raid. Oh, let me go get a tier 2 when I can go hop in the portal and get a tier 5 when I'm the same level. Doesn't feel good. Feels bad, man. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean it's all dependent upon your level, and yeah, sure, the higher level you are, the beefier you should be.
Yeah.
But do you know that what's max right now? 500,
550.
550?
550.
Yeah, I mean, so you have a 550 that has never completed any challenging modes. So no epic raid, no master dungeons. They shouldn't have tier 5s. If they're going to play the game normally and just sit there and they're going to grind out normal control on Crucible, they should not get tier 5s. Hot take, inbound. They should not get any tier 5s. If you're going to go and you're going to go play trials, if you're going to go play, you get hit high rank competitive. If you go and play master dungeons, epic raids, you know, high end ultimatums, if they made ultimatum not based on like 520 plus, those should drop you to the tier 5s. Ultimatum should be like how we struggled back in the Grandmaster days. Yeah, sure. There's you're always gonna have teams that are gonna complete in 8 minutes because you've got teams that's been playing together since D1. But at the same time, if I'm matchmaking with Fire Team Finder with a random team and I want to struggle a little bit. Not every complete you're not gonna get every completion because that one guy's gonna die by jumping off the edge of the map. You shouldn't get a tier 5 if you can't complete the high end competition.
I understand your point, but if they complete their 40 hours a week and get to 550, I think that they've kind of earned it with their time commitment.
See, and
Because
that's where I fall.
it's not you're what power level are you? 300? Did you even crack 4?
What? What? Bro, I'm 417 right now. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Okay.
I grinded. I
All right.
grinded the hello out of trials.
Fair enough. But my point is
Hey, how you doing?
we haven't even hit 450. I've not hit 450. I'm 417, 418, somewhere in there too. But my point is that these people that are 520 power or 100 power more than us, they put in 60 hours more than we have in the game to get to that point.
Oh, sure. Sure, I could have as well. If I wanted to go play this really bad game that had more bugs than my front yard.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But that's my point. I think that time commitment, if you want to spend the amount of time in the game to get to max power in the portal, do your thing. But I also think that they do deserve getting tier 5s because they put the time in. But I also think for the people that don't want to put the time in, we need a way to get to tier 5s quicker. And power not being based on power, it needs to be based on what content are you participating in to get that point. So if we're 200 power and we're doing the hardest mode raid, because power level really doesn't matter in raids anymore, but that's a whole nother issue. we should be getting tier 5s. But that person that's 550 that spent 100 hours getting to that point should also be getting tier 5s from stuff. I don't think that we can just lock them out because it's like, oh, well, you're not doing the hardest content. Well, it's at this point in the game's life cycle, it's kind of hard to find people to play with if you don't have a team that you've been with for years.
See, and that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that Destiny was, for me, built upon. Because, like I said earlier, I like taking in new people and saying, hey, let's get this done. You've never completed a master dungeon before. Let's get this completion for you. We need to get that community back together. The Destiny community as a whole to stop being so toxic, taking in the low guy and let's say, hey, you've only got an hour and a half to play tonight. Let's get you the tier 5s by doing this master dungeon real quick.
Well,
let's get this. Let me add you to my friends list. Anytime you got some time, you got 2 hours to run on a weekend because you're a blue collar guy working 70 to 80 hours a week. Sure, you still want to enjoy video games. Let me bring you in. Let me show you the way. Let me show you how to get this done. And that's the way the Destiny community used to be, and it's just not like that anymore.
Yeah, I think that's also a product of the community's jaded now because crafting ruined in game. But we're gonna move on. I think that new exotics need to be better than what we're getting currently, as far as armor goes. As a hunter main, I'm not using that new Mirai over Gifted Conviction or Raiden Flux or Star Eaters. Not gonna happen. I'm not using it because it's such a niche thing. It's not gonna help me in in-game. Gifted Conviction works in in-game. Raiden Flux works if you want to run an Arc Staff, like I do. That's my main class, is Arc Hunter. And Star Eater Scales. Like, it's just the best 3 in slot. Like, it's the best 3 exotics on Hunter. But you have classes where it's like Titan. You might have 2 exotics that are actually worth using, and this new one where you can recall your hammer. Who wants to be Thor in this game anymore? Like, maybe whenever it first came out, they had a player base that wanted that. But with the T-Crash exotic, Wishful Ignorance making you basically almost kill yellow bars with 1 melee, why would people use something where, oh, I'm just going to recall my hammer, I don't want to go pick it up? Who cares?
I mean, and the damage of hazardous propulsion.
Yeah, hazardous propulsion being like sending out rockets, like it does more damage than a rocket launcher. Like it makes no sense. Like, these exotics should not be niche. They need to be game changing, not serviceable exotics. I'm tired of getting these boring exotics that nobody uses for like 4 seasons until they get like 18 buffs to make them usable. Like, just make them better whenever you're making the exotic. Stop being scared of the game not being balanced. Obviously, it's not balanced now. You see how many bugs we got? You could walk around and one-tap bosses with the hilt of a sword. And they didn't fix that for weeks.
Now tell me how you really feel.
Like, I'm just tired. I'm tired of when exotics come out, not being excited for them. That's my problem with gear. Like, exotics do not feel exotic anymore. They add to one specific thing on a build that nobody uses. When's the last time you put on that what's the one that came with Edge of Fate for the Warlock? The one that makes your Hellion better. Did you try it? Did you use it at all? Did you use it at all?
I mean, I used it on my PvP build. It was pretty nice, but it's not my PvP playstyle.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely got a huge, especially whenever they buff Scorch. Scorch definitely increased the use of that on PvP, but that was really all it was used for, was PvP. It really had no PvE usage.
Yeah, because of Starfire Protocol, something we've been in the game since it started. And then you had Sunbracers, another one that's been in the game since Destiny 2 Vanilla.
Oh, and Sunbracers have been broken for a really long time.
They still are. There's no, like, You can cover a room in solar melees, like in solar grenades. Like it just.
I felt like Oprah Winfrey up there.
You get one. You get one.
You get a solar nade. You get a solar nade. You get a solar nade.
But yeah, but I think that new exotics need to be better as far as armor goes. Weapons, we've gotten some really good new exotic weapons, so I'm gonna kind of not go too far into those because I also think that could get rough because if they're giving us exotics from the season pass, it doesn't need to be best in slot because everybody can get it for free. You get it day one, and you can use it. I don't think that the season pass exotic should be the best exotic in the game, and that's what we have with Ash and Iron with that new Rocket Pulse. It's the best. It's the best. It's even better than Mint Retrograde. It is. It's been proven. You get your super back faster with it than you get it with pre-nerf Queen Outbreak and pre-nerf Mint Retrograde.
See, I think that that's solely build dependent.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like for my solar build with my Starfire, I still preferred to run Mint Retrograde with Teraba.
Well, that's
just
totally
because
that's fair. That's fair.
So there's other exotics that you can use. So build dependent, yes and no. I'll check you on that one. I'm not gonna raise you anything on that. I understand where you're coming from, but it's very build dependent on what you're running.
I'm gonna say overarching on the game. If you just throw on that gun with the strand proliferation or whatever it is, artifact mod, and you're running anything that has any kind of strand damage on it, like exotic, like heavy weapon or whatever, and you use that, it's gonna boost that weapon's damage. The new exotic, and it's just the best in slot as far as that goes especially for the new raid. But let's move on from gear. We've been here for a little while.
I mean, we can go on forever for this. So.
The gear system, especially because I feel like that's gear's necessary to talk about because it's a problem right now. But all right, so next is I kind of want to go into like how content works in the game overall. So what I think is we need to go back to like it was in Forsaken with content. We need multiple new strikes and multiple PvP maps every DLC release. Not just one a piece, multiple, 2 or more to rejuvenate certain sides of the game that don't get much updates, especially the PvP side. But when's the last time we got a new strike? Well, I guess you could say Final Shape because we did get that one on the Pelheart, but we didn't get one with this DLC release. We didn't even get one.
No, they're too busy reworking all the old stuff.
Yeah, trying to make it new. But I think we need new strikes and PvP maps every release. I also think that campaigns are kind of in a really good spot right now. The last 2 campaigns come out. The narrative was great. You can say what you will about the abilities on Kepler. That's just a gameplay side of the thing. The narrative side of it and how the campaign feels to play, I think they've been in a pretty good spot for a little while. I think it's totally dependent on narrative if the campaign's good or not. If the narrative's good, campaign's usually good. And the last 2 DLCs we've got, we haven't had a regression in narrative. The narrative's been good in Edge of Fate, and the narrative was great in Final Shape. So I think that's fine. I know that they've changed the feat system in the raid, where you don't have to run 20 of this one to get this unlocked. So I'm just gonna kind of cover the feat system a little bit. So when it released, I felt like the feat system in the raid was a big like turn off to me. Like that, I didn't want to do the raid because I didn't want to unlock each of the new feats. I want to be able to go in, slot all the things on, get my tier 5, get out. I know you can do that now, but whenever it first launched, you could not do that. But
See, and I feel that that really hinders the guys like me. I got all the way to +4 with full random fire team finder people. I made it all the way to I completed 3 feet and I was on my way to 4. And if they've opened up the feet, I haven't actually been on there. But if they've opened up the feet so anybody can select the 5 feet and do it now, that's a punch to the gut.
Yeah, I mean they should have, if they were gonna do that, they should have never changed it to start with. It should have been from the beginning. You could do that. That's my point. It should have never been you had to grind so many. You had to do the normal one, then you had to do the 1 feet, then you had to do the 2 feet, then you had to. It's a chore. That's one reason I didn't want to do it. And it's like even Squish, one of our buddies that we played Destiny with, he said, "I just leech off Trav because he has the feats I want on unlocked."
You know, as much as
So
we talk about Squish, we need to bring him in here one day.
we'll pull him in one time. He'll be on the podcast eventually. But that was my point. Is what's the point in doing it whenever I could just wait, let somebody else do it for me, and then leech off of them every time I want to do the raid? That's my point. The feat system, it needs to be day one, everything's unlocked from now on. We should never go back to where you have to do one of each to unlock that point. Just unlock it for
Or, I mean,
everybody and make it to where I can make it as hard as I want it to be. I can go get my tier 5 by making it as the hardest I can make it to go get my tier 5s right off the bat.
see, and this is where we have the difference. I like the doing the raid and unlocking the feats. Should they hide things behind it? Maybe. Maybe not tier weapons. Maybe even special weapons like the crossbow being really big. Maybe, each feat unlocked a separate weapon.
Mm.
The feat was dependent upon the weapon. You know,
You
one
know what?
feat
You know what?
auto
Hold on.
rifle,
You
2
know,
feet.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that. If you want a specific weapon to drop at the end, you do this many feats. I can get behind it. But I also think that we need the side of the game to where it's like, I don't really care what the weapon is at the end. Let me just throw all the feats on so that I can get the hardest gear, so that I can get the best gear in the raid. And you're going to have that. You have multiple things that can drop from each encounter, so you're going to have to farm for it eventually anyways. So it doesn't really matter at that point. But I will say that I will take that, what you said about if you do one feat, you get this weapon at the end. If you do 2, you get this weapon. I like that. And you could even add it to where it rotates weekly. So every week something's dropping in a different slot, and you kind of have to go through and be like, what's dropping this week? And it doesn't tell you. You have to kind of do each feat each week to see what drops what, so you know what to farm.
Yeah, I mean, especially being if they want to, provide content for creators, which I know Bungie's really big on for creators and everything, which, we as creators appreciate.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go in and create that content for people
Yeah.
to say, hey,
Hey, this week's the easy week. This week's the easy
we've
week.
ran 4 and 5. 5 being, tier 5's the crossbow.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be the one thing that's brand new to the game that everybody's gonna want.
Yeah.
Congratulations! If you see somebody with the crossbow,
You know
should
they did the
high-five
hard.
them 'cause
You know they did the hardest
They
content.
completed tier 5.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I do agree with
So-
that. I agree with that. But you're gonna have, if they put it on the rotation system, I think if whatever the weapon is people are most excited for, whenever Bungie does like the reveal of the weapons, or whenever people get their hands on whatever the weapons are, like they don't add it right away to where it's like a weekly rotator thing. Maybe it's like a month behind. Give people a chance to get in, see what's good, see what people like, and then it's like, okay, we know what everybody wants now. That's tier 5. And then the rest of them can be on a rotation to where 1 feat every week changes, and 2, 3, and 4 also changes every week. But tier 5 is that best loot. You want it, gotta work for it. I think that's a good. I would. It would make me play raids more, and I hadn't cared about raids since Beyond Light. I'm gonna be honest. And I'll tell you why I hadn't cared about raids since Beyond Light. Crafting.
Yeah, craft. So
Crafting
that's a
ruined
whole nother.
crafting ruined raids for me. But we're gonna move on. I kind of want
Yeah, I ain't
to.
gonna get started on crafting. My
Yeah,
opinion for crafting, it's over there somewhere.
yeah. Like I could care less about crafting. I don't know. They've not said yet. They've not said if it's gonna be this way or not. But I think the feat system should be added to dungeons. If it's not added to dungeons, I think they missed a huge opportunity. I think they should add it.
Yeah.
I think they should. If
So
they don't,
going back to my original, talking about different feats being having different weapons, where tier 5, maybe even tier 5 being a guaranteed exotic,
mm-hmm.
and the maybe the percentage of exotic, you getting the exotic for that encounter goes up with each feat.
Yeah.
Whereas, you get a team that has tier 3, you have a little bit more of a chance than you do, running at base,
Mm-hmm.
because it is harder. But and we with tier 5 being max. But at the same time, if they're gonna make everything craftable, again, sorry, I won't go on the crafting.
Yeah, let's not go
We're gonna
craftable.
skip craft. We're not gonna do that because we know that's an awful system.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't help anything. But I think that the feat system should be added to dungeons. I think it should be. If they don't, they missed a huge opportunity to make people that are like speed running dungeons and stuff actually push and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna speed run this new dungeon on 5 feats and get really good at the game." Like I think that's a good system. Another thing is, I think you should be able to do as many feats as you want as soon as contest is over. From now on, there should be none of this anymore, where you have to, like I said before, you do 1 feat to unlock 2, you do 2 feet to unlock 3. Just if you're gonna unlock it, do it day 1 as soon as contest mode's over, where people can do it if they want to. Also,
You see, so go
also,
ahead.
I'm gonna move on a little bit here. Contest raids and dungeons should not drop below tier 5 because you're competing in the pinnacle of pinnacle activities. Should, if you get a team together to do a contest raid and you clear 3 encounters, each encounter should have gave you a tier 5. It may not be the best, but you need to get tier 5s for doing contest mode. I don't care, because not everybody in the community is going to be able to do it. It is the pinnacle. We get one raid. Now we get 1 raid, 1 epic raid a year, and 1 dungeon that are contest. They shouldn't drop below tier 5 because it is the hardest activity in the game, and you're competing at it way under leveled. You disagree? You disagree? I can see it on your face. You're trying to
I'm not gonna
process.
say that I disagree. The tier 5s, I mean, during contest, yes, you should get your tier 5s.
Yeah. Just in contest though. If you I'm just talking about, you select contest mode and you're attempting contest mode. You wait till after people have completed the raid and you do the normal raid. You go back to where the normal raid loot drops. You do not get the, just for doing contest in itself. Not contest weekend you get tier 5s. No, just contest mode. If you're not in contest mode,
Okay.
you do not get tier 5s. Just in the actual, like, you hop on, you're doing contest mode, you're running through this thing, you're in here for 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24, 48 hours, whatever it is, you're in contest. You're getting a tier 5 when you clear an encounter because you worked for it. You didn't.
Okay.
It's not just handed to you by wait until the contest mode raids finished first and they unlock the normal raid. Just contest mode.
So my only problem with that is that that's going to go back to what we were talking about earlier. Tier 5s need to feel tier 5-ish.
Yeah, they
Tier
need to
5
boost.
should
They
be
need to
a
be.
micro step under exotic.
Yep. They should feel. They almost should feel exotic.
Yeah, they should be your standard exotics. Exotics should do this crazy stuff that you should never see in any other weapon.
Yep.
Tier 5 should be that legendary gun that you're gonna see that does crazy damage. It doesn't do
It
anything
almost.
crazy. It doesn't
I.
have any crazy abilities,
Yep.
but it does crazy damage. It will let you compete in the higher end
Yep.
stuff. But if they're giving them out tier 5s like candy, for bot farmers,
Yep.
that people that are just going to be sitting there macroing their way through an Iron Banner game, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there of it.
Yep. Yeah, it's possible. It happens.
I agree if they make tier 5s feel like the ultimate tier 5.
Yep. But we can't have another situation where it was like with the first where we competed in the Desert Perpetual day 1, where it's like you complete an encounter, you get a tier 1. That can't happen. You're at the end game of in-game activities, in contest. Like tier 1 should not be dropping from that. And I know they've already said and addressed that, and that's not going to happen anymore. But I just believe that if you work hard enough to put 6 players together that are locked in, ready to go, and you're completing encounters in contest, you should be getting rewarded really well for it. But I do think that it goes back to loot, that your tier 5 weapons need to be more than just slightly better than tier 3s. And that's where we're at right now, where they're just slightly better. You got like 5 extra stats on each thing. Like it's just like it's not enough. Where tier 5s are weapon wise right now is not enough. I'm gonna kind of hop into PvP here. Now I'm kind of done with the content section, so we're gonna hop into PvP, specifically PvP, because that's where I fell in love with Destiny. After raids, it was raids. PvP hooked me in Destiny 1. Obviously, it's obvious. We need a new anti-cheat. We need one. We need something that works. I don't think that there is an anti-cheat that works out there because cheaters are in every game. So I don't know if they can do that, but we need a new one that actually bans people when they're cheating. 70% of people who cleared Desert Perpetual day 1, cheaters. Can't happen. We need to fix the game on the cheater side. I think Zim and Cronus users should all get banned. I understand that you have people that have legitimate reasons for needing them, but the vast majority of people that use them do not need them. They just don't want to suck at the game. And it's a free way to get cheats, and they feel like they can't be banned. I think they should get banned. I think that there should be a way for, like, oh, you hooked up a Cronus. What's your reasoning for it? And you have to they have to tell Bungie and have a way to prove that they have what they're talking about to Bungie so that they can use it. But that goes into way past just Bungie. That needs to be a universal thing around every video game because you got people using scripts and stuff on Cronus and Zim to be able to hit headshots and to lock onto people because just for fun. PvP, obviously. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, even with the Zen and Cronus users, like some of those are just way too blatant obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Like, you need assistance because you're handicapped. Good on you for still trying to play the game while the world is against you. Like, you know what? Round of applause for you.
Yep.
You're fantastic, and you should keep going playing all the games that you can. But if you're able-bodied and you just suck at the game, stop.
Get some help.
Get banned.
Yeah.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah. Like it's just that's my personal opinion. I think that they should get banned for using them. And I think that
absolutely.
I think that just in general, I think that you ought to have like a legitimate I think that they should put Zim and Cronus behind something to where you can't buy them unless you have a doctor's note that says, "Hey, I need that to be able to play my video games." just in general. I know
I
that
mean,
that'll never happen. I know it'll never happen because it's just not possible. But I think that's the way it should be, because you have people that are like, let's say that there's somebody that quit playing video games for 2 years. They went and bought themselves a Zim, and they went and started playing their old games, and they were just lasering people and hadn't touched the game because the game aims for them now. Shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen. Um, but okay, so PvP has obviously been an afterthought for Bungie for years. They don't care about it. They don't see it as a good return on investment. They don't care. I think that it needs to be more of a focal point. When the game was good, when PvP is good, the game's good. That's just how it works. Because you have people that come in just to play PvP. When the game's bad, when PvP is bad, you see the drop in player numbers. There's a huge community out there that people love Destiny PvP. I would argue that PvP
going
players,
back to Squish.
Yeah, PvP players are leaving the game at an insanely higher rate than PvE players are right now, because that game sucks for PvP players.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, going back to Squish, one of our friends, Squishy, he's a huge PvP player. He leveled all the way up to, what did he make it to?
He was almost 450. He was almost 450 and quit.
Yeah, he was 448 off of strictly PvP alone. And then even he said Ash and Iron came out, and he was like, I can't play this anymore. It's awful.
Yep, it's terrible. It's awful. I think this is also going to be, people are not going to like this. It's going to be a hot take. I think that PvP playlists should drop some of the best gear for PvE. I think it needs to go back to like Forsaken, where Mountaintop, Recluse, 21% Delirium, they are the pinnacle of pinnacle weapons. It gives people a reason to go play PvP, to add people into the player pool, to make them have a good gun. PvP players do it now with PvE. They go into PvE to get the gun they want, to bring it to PvP to use it. I think it should work both ways. Because you feed into one, you feed in from one to the other. It adds to the game. There's a constant influx of players in each playlist because they need something specific for what they want to do in PvP or PvE. I can't see where that's a bad thing. I know casuals are going to hate it and be like, you're an idiot. Guess what? I don't care what your opinion is. This is my podcast. I'll tell you what I want it to be.
Yeah. But no, going back in the day, having to reset your Crucible rank 5 times in order to get Roderick's broadsword. And that gun was broken.
Mm-hmm.
But guess who had it? The people that grinded.
Yep.
The game should be there for casuals to play, but the game should reward people that are going to put in time and effort and lose sleep and possibly fall asleep at work.
Yep.
To get these guns.
Yep. And like
what was it? It was Roderick's broadsword.
Randy's
throwing knife.
Randy's Mountaintop, Recluse, 21%.
Mountaintop and Recluse.
21% Delirium was Gambit. Breakneck was Gambit, but those were like those weapons were like insanely good. Like people played Gambit just to get those guns, and that's what's missing in this game. You can strictly stay, I only want to stay in my lane, and you still get some of the best gear in the game. Like, I think you should have to interact with different sides of the game to get some of the best gear. There should be a reason for PvE players to have to interact with PvP and Gambit to get some of the best in slot loot. It needs to be spread out.
What's that pulse that everybody's using now that's Crucible? You play like one or two comp matches and it just gives it to you.
It's I forget what it's called, but either way, it's I don't use it anyways because Mint retrogrades in the same slot. Mint retrogrades in the same slot now. Who cares? But that's my opinion on PvP. Obviously, we need PvP maps. We need PvP to actually be cared about. Updates given to regularly. We shouldn't be going 6, 7, 8 months of something being absolutely broken, obliterating Crucible. Bolt Charge needs nerfed him. Crucible. That's another one that I don't think people are gonna like. That use bolt charge for the free, like sit behind a barricade and use a scout in the back of the map. Boring, and you suck. If you were good at the game, you wouldn't have to rely on it.
Hey, stop it.
All
Hey,
right.
Jade Rabbit's my favorite weapon. All right, stop it.
But I mean, they should be viable, but you should be able to go in, have fun with a
Oh
hand
no, we
cannon,
suck.
SMGs.
No, we suck.
Like I think that it just like some of the most boring times for me in Crucible is pulse rifles, auto rifles, and scout rifle metas. It's because you don't have to be good to use them. They aim for you.
See, and that's the thing. I think that they should definitely run the two primary. I ran a scout rifle and a hand cannon. You want to get in my face? I ran the hand cannon. You want to stay away and plink me with a sniper? Guess what? I got a Jade Rabbit with your name on it.
Well, I mean, I can understand if that's what you want, the playstyle you want, but we cannot go back to the double primary method, man. It did not work. The game died then too. But um, off of PvP, I just got some general things that I kind of want to go back to, and it's more of like content structure, how we release content in general. Um, I think we need to go back to your Forsaken content releases. That we get that one big DLC a year, and then we get those three mini DLCs with story content loaded up front, and then you got gear that's powerful to go get at the end to keep you busy all season. And then the same thing the next season, next 3 months is another thing. We need to go back to that content structure because this is not working. What's going on right now is not working.
So, you know what I miss? Talking about all of this right now. I miss those random exotics just being hidden in the world.
Yes.
You know, like Thorn, you had to go find the starting mission. It didn't just give it to you and be like, "Hey, just do this." You
Or
had to go
like
find it.
or like Last Word, where it was like you got a random like bounty for it. Didn't know what it did, and it was like, oh, when you die, you lose progress. You better be good. Like I miss those. Like that was when people like you could tell who was good, who had the gun early on. And it wasn't
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
oh, I'm playing bad. Let me swap off real quick so that I don't lose all my progress on this.
yeah, I mean, not even that, but just the fact of,
Whisper.
now they have your character shows up with a sparrow behind you
Mm-hmm.
or whatever ride that you're using now that we
Mm-hmm.
have the boards.
Skimmers. Yep.
Used to, someone look at your stuff and be like, "Oh my god, he's got this shader, he's got this armor set, he's got this sparrow."
Dude, he got that
Like,
gun.
bro, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you
Where'd you
don't see
get
that.
that?
That's like 2% of
Like
players.
it's like when Whisper dropped and people were getting it and nobody knew how to do it. You would message random people in the tower, be like, "How'd you get that? How'd you get that?" And then they would tell you, and then it would make you go farm it until you finally got it. Like we need that back. The game needs secrets. The game is built off secrets, and right now, you have no secrets.
The secrets is given to everybody.
Yeah.
It's not quite
Yeah.
secret if everyone knows about it.
And they don't. And in their promotional material, they show us what we get. Like they don't have the exotics hidden anymore. You see them in all the promotional material. They're used as a selling point of the DLC because we only get 3 exotic armor pieces a year, 3 exotic armor pieces per DLC, and you get like 2 weapons a season. Speaking of, the exotic axe still isn't out in Ash and Iron yet.
Oh no, they've already announced that it's not coming out, I think, till the end of October.
Yeah, I think we got. No, I don't think the end. I think it might be next week. But either
Either
way,
way,
and it's because the mission's not ready. The mission's not done. They haven't built the mission yet.
yeah, and I mean that's a huge, huge point for us
Yep.
that we should look at Bungie and be like, why are you not ready for this?
I have my opinions on that, but I don't know if I want to get into that here. That's another hour-long conversation about.
Was it? Hey, but was it Glad? Was it Glad that put out that video? See you in Renegades. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I
Yeah,
feel the same way.
and yeah, but let's go ahead and finish this. I got 2 more points, and then may have to call it there because this has been an hour. We've been here an hour.
We've been here an hour talking on Destiny.
Yeah, I told you. I told you we were going to be here a while because I had a lot of ideas. Now, the current content structure is not working. It isn't working. There's no live, and it offers no replayability. It's just the truth. And also, I don't think featured legendary gear should be a thing. Because all they're doing is limiting what we can use to increase our power level. That's my final 2 points. That featured gear shouldn't matter, shouldn't be a thing. And the current content structure has no life. And that's where that's the end where I'm at with it.
I can't rebuttal if I agree with you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just like that's things that's just gotta change, man. Like it just has to.
Here we go. You've got your talking points. I've got my big dot with like one word stretched across it right here.
You say you Destiny 3, I'm gonna crash out. If you say Destiny 3, I'm gonna crash. Brother, it's not gonna happen.
I know, but this game needs a huge factory reset. Someone needs to go in. Sony needs to go in and press that factory reset button, just a little boop. And they need to start Destiny 3. They need to take out crafting. They need to rework the entire gaming system. I don't know how they're going to work the story. That's upon the story writers.
I have some points that I would like for Bungie to actually listen to. If you do a Destiny 3, can we please drop old generation consoles so that we're stuck at... I'm so tired of being stuck at 30 FPS in cutscenes, man. I've spent so much money on PCs and having good graphics to where it's like it doesn't even matter because at 8 hours, my PC is going to turn off because your game's not built to run it.
We don't want your 30 frame cutscenes anymore.
No, we want at least 60. At least 60. If you want to lock it at 60, so like worse, like bad 60. PCs can run it, fine. At least get rid of 30.
New gen consoles, 120 is where that stuff should be locked. If your PC can't run it, upgrade. I'm saying now that you sound like I also need an upgrade.
You sound like Borderlands CEO of Borderlands, dude.
I'm only saying that because I also need an upgrade, okay?
Yeah.
I'm right there with you guys. Hey, you need a cheap build to run some games? You know, by golly, you run them cheap upgrades and you run them games to the best of your ability. You know, we're all here together. We're here to game. We're here to have fun. But it needs to be 120.
I'll give you 120. I personally don't think that it has to be 120. It has to be 60. Has to be. It cannot be any lower. When you go to Destiny 3, if we go to Destiny 3, you cannot. I'm gonna lose it, bro. If we get into Destiny 3 and I watch a cutscene and I see 30 in the top, I will throw stuff and leave.
If I see someone logged in with a PS4 or an Xbox, I don't even know if they support Xbox 360 anymore.
It's Xbox One.
Xbox One, the OG Xbox One. I don't know. We're old, so
yeah, we are 30.
I don't even know what console we're on anymore.
Xbox Series S and X, and you're on PlayStation 5.
I've got a couple people that play. I know I got a couple people play PlayStation 4, and I'm like, you should not be playing this game.
I do think that we if we go to Destiny 3, drop old gen, 60 FPS cutscenes. 60 FPS cutscene.
Tiger Engine's not cutting it.
Tiger Engine has to go. And we need more things to do in the game than just raids, dungeons, and trials. We need another activity. If you want to, the Shifting Gates activity from Destiny Rising is one of the most fun activities I've ever played for a Destiny game. And that includes the Menagerie from Season of Opulence. Those two are like really high as far as like match-made activities. Please, Bungie. Please. I could care less about... I know that there's a lot of people wanting clan housing and stuff like that. I could care less about clan housing. Give us a game mode where it's 3v3, v3, v3, like Gambit. Like Shifting Gates, port that thing into Destiny 2. Or, Destiny 3 if we're going into Destiny 3. That we should not be getting. We need that activity style, man, because this game is built for that. Whenever y'all started updating Gambit and took away Gambit Prime and all these things, you ruined Gambit. You ruined it. That's why Gambit died. Because for one, you didn't make maps for it. Two, you took out Gambit Prime where our actual invader armor and stuff like that mattered. So it no longer mattered anymore. And then like sunsetting all the old stuff and taking out every map but 2 can't happen. Can't happen. And I'm done with Destiny at this point. Like, I'm done talking Destiny. We can talk about something else, or we can call it there. It's up to you, bud.
I do want to finish off tonight. I do want to say that to the community, we have fantastic news regarding Borderlands 4.
Oh yeah. Let's get some hype news going.
All you Rafa mains out there,
me,
Rafa main,
me.
This guy or this guy,
yeah.
This guy. I don't know where he's at. He's over there somewhere.
Yeah.
You got the skin.
Go. We got the skin.
Congratulations.
Code will be here.
You got the skin.
Code will be there.
Yeah, we'll post the code for you, and we'll probably end up seeing you guys next week because I think that's pretty much it.
I think that's all the time I got for right now, man. I think I got to call it there.
Man, Destiny 2 has taken up so much time.
I told you before we started that we was going to spin it out. I told you, man.
Hey, it's the home. It's the home that we don't like. But we just live here. So.
I love Destiny and I want to play the game so bad. Like, dude, I'm sitting sitting on Steam, and then I like the last few weeks after I got like the last week or two after getting back from vacation, and I'm looking at Destiny and I'm just like, I want to play you, but you suck too bad. And I'm just like,
we love you, but we don't like you.
I don't want to play anything, and I just turn my PCs off and I go watch a movie with my wife. Like I'm just at that point where it's like, I'm just bored of gaming right now because Destiny sucks.
It's like, we love you, but we don't like you. So,
yeah. And like Path of Exile 2 is great, but I'm bored of it because there's no PvP. Borderlands 4 is great, but I'm bored of it. There's no PvP. As a PvP player, man, I need something to play. Bungie, please fix your game.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate you. Make sure you look up our socials, Raging IC Experience podcast.
Yep. Look us up on.
Make sure hit us up on all the socials. I think we're currently on YouTube, TikTok,
Twitter, YouTube,
and
TikTok, and Twitter. Yeah. Follow us for updates. We'll keep you all updated about what's coming and what's going. But I think we're going to call it there.
All right. I am Raging.
I'm Icy. And that's it for this week.
And we will see you next time.
Yep. See you, boys.
Peace.